Have you ever noticed how life can feel unbearably heavy even when nothing is visibly wrong? The bills are paid, the schedule is full, the fridge is stocked, and yet your chest still aches with restlessness, your sleep still breaks at 3 a.m., and your smile feels like a mask you've forgotten how to remove. You tell yourself you should be happy, but deep down you feel drained, hollow, and quietly hopeless. This is the silent epidemic of our time. A body that looks alive on the outside, but a soul that feels empty within. Pills numb the edges. Vacations offer temporary escape, but the tension always returns. Why? Because the problem was never out there. It was never the job, the partner, the noise, or even the body itself. It was the loss of the simplest, most overlooked medicine, gratitude. Zen masters have long whispered, "The body is the mind made visible." When the mind churns with lack and discontent, the body mirrors it with tension, fatigue, and pain. But when the mind bows in gratitude, the body softens, your breath deepens, your shoulders drop, and suddenly, life feels lighter without anything changing on the outside. By the end of this journey, you will see how daily gratitude, woven into breath, into meals, into moments, can rewire your nervous system, release the weight of sadness, and restore purpose without forcing toxic positivity. For now, place a hand on your heart, inhale slowly for 4, pause for 2, and exhale for 6. Whisper, "Thank you for keeping me alive today." Because before gratitude can heal you, we must first uncover what has been stealing it all along. 1. The thieves of gratitude: negativity, bias, hurry, and comparison. You can't collect blessings while sprinting past them. How many of us live exactly like that? Always rushing, always scanning for what's missing, always convinced that gratitude is something we'll practice once life finally slows down. But life doesn't slow down. It keeps demanding, keeps pulling, keeps whispering, "Not enough, not enough." And in that constant chase, we don't just miss gratitude, we miss life itself. The first thief of gratitude is hurry. When you live as if the present moment is a hallway you're rushing through, you never notice the paintings on the wall. Hurry blinds you to the gifts right in front of you. The warmth of sunlight, the taste of water, the hand you could have held a little longer. Zen masters warn us that when the mind runs too fast, the heart becomes deaf. One monk told of walking by a pond on a bright night. The moon was perfectly reflected, but he missed it because he was chasing a lantern swinging in the dark. We do this every day, chasing artificial lights while ignoring the moon that's already waiting. The second thief is comparison. Nothing kills joy faster than measuring it against someone else's ruler. You can own a quiet home, but scroll once through your phone and suddenly it feels too small, too dull, too plain. You can have a loving partner, but glance at someone else's photos and suddenly your life feels lacking. Comparison is a thief because it tells you that your blessings don't count until they outshine someone else's. But gratitude whispers a different truth. What you have is already enough when you truly see it. The third thief is perfectionism. Gratitude can't grow in soil that demands flawless conditions. If you only allow yourself to feel thankful when everything is in order, when the house is spotless, the body pain-free, the career on track, you will wait forever. Perfectionism keeps pushing gratitude into the future, always just out of reach. But life is never flawless. The tea is sometimes bitter, the bowl sometimes chipped, the day sometimes heavy. Zen monks bow deeply even to broken bowls because they know imperfection is not the absence of beauty. It is the proof that beauty exists here and now. So how do we disarm these thieves? By reframing the story, instead of not enough yet, practice saying, already here. Instead of keeping score against others, shift from a scoreboard to a soul board, not how much you've gathered, but how deeply you've lived. Instead of waiting for perfection, honor the cracks, the flaws, the rough edges as reminders that this life is real and this moment is alive. Here's a simple gift you can give yourself right now. Name one quiet good thing you ignored today. Maybe it was the way your chair held you up, the way the morning air touched your face, or the way someone smiled without you even asking. Gratitude doesn't ask for fireworks, it asks for presence. And presence always begins with the ordinary. Think of this: thieves only have power when the owner is absent. The moment you return, the moment you notice, hurry, comparison, and perfectionism lose their grip. Your life doesn't need to be bigger or better to be worthy of thanks. It just needs to be seen. And once you've disarmed the thieves, you're ready for the next step. Because gratitude is not just a thought, it's a way of being. Now let's learn gratitude the Zen way: simple, embodied, and real. 1. The thieves of gratitude: negativity, bias, hurry, and comparison. You can't collect blessings while sprinting past them. How many of us live exactly like that? Always rushing, always scanning for what's missing, always convinced that gratitude is something we'll practice once life finally slows down. But life doesn't slow down. It keeps demanding, keeps pulling, keeps whispering, not enough, not enough. And in that constant chase, we don't just miss gratitude, we miss life itself. The first thief of gratitude is hurry. When you live as if the present moment is a hallway you're rushing through, you never notice the paintings on the wall. Hurry blinds you to the gifts right in front of you: the warmth of sunlight, the taste of water, the hand you could have held a little longer. Zen masters warn us that when the mind runs too fast, the heart becomes deaf. One monk told of walking by a pond on a bright night. The moon was perfectly reflected, but he missed it because he was chasing a lantern swinging in the dark. We do this every day, chasing artificial lights while ignoring the moon that's already waiting. The second thief is comparison. Nothing kills joy faster than measuring it against someone else's ruler. You can own a quiet home, but scroll once through your phone and suddenly it feels too small, too dull, too plain. You can have a loving partner, but glance at someone else's photos and suddenly your life feels lacking. Comparison is a thief because it tells you that your blessings don't count until they outshine someone else's. But gratitude whispers a different truth. What you have is already enough when you truly see it. The third thief is perfectionism. Gratitude can't grow in soil that demands flawless conditions. If you only allow yourself to feel thankful when everything is in order, when the house is spotless, the body pain-free, the career on track, you will wait forever. Perfectionism keeps pushing gratitude into the future, always just out of reach. But life is never flawless. The tea is sometimes bitter, the bowl sometimes chipped, the day sometimes heavy. Zen monks bow deeply even to broken bowls because they know imperfection is not the absence of beauty. It is the proof that beauty exists here and now. So how do we disarm these thieves? By reframing the story. Instead of not enough yet, practice saying, already here. Instead of keeping score against others, shift from a scoreboard to a soul board, not how much you've gathered, but how deeply you've lived. Instead of waiting for perfection, honor the cracks, the flaws, the rough edges as reminders that this life is real and this moment is alive. Here's a simple gift you can give yourself right now. Name one quiet good thing you ignored today. Maybe it was the way your chair held you up, the way the morning air touched your face, or the way someone smiled without you even asking. Gratitude doesn't ask for fireworks, it asks for presence. And presence always begins with the ordinary. Think of this. Thieves only have power when the owner is absent. The moment you return, the moment you notice, hurry, comparison, and perfectionism lose their grip. Your life doesn't need to be bigger or better to be worthy of thanks. It just needs to be seen. And once you've disarmed the thieves, you're ready for the next step. Because gratitude is not just a thought, it's a way of being. Now let's learn gratitude the Zen way, simple, embodied, and real. 2. Gratitude the Zen way, presence over performance. Gratitude isn't a performance. It's how you greet this breath. In our world today, gratitude is often turned into a checklist, a stage ritual, even a performance for social media. Here are my 5 things I'm grateful for today. But the Zen path teaches something radically different. Gratitude isn't about appearing thankful. It's about being present. Not a show for others, but a posture of awareness for yourself. Specific gratitude softens the heart. Vague words slip away. Saying I'm grateful for life can feel hollow if it's just words. But when you whisper, I'm grateful for the way this warm tea soothes my throat after a long day, the gratitude becomes real. Specifics anchor you in truth. They give your body something to feel, not just your mind something to recite. Zen monks often give thanks before meals, not in vague prayers, but in precise recognition. The farmer who planted the seed, the rain that fell at the right time, the soil that nourished the grain. Each detail makes gratitude tangible, alive. Gratitude grows stronger when it touches the senses. Abstract appreciation is fleeting, but sensory gratitude sinks into the nervous system. Notice the warmth of sunlight on your back, the crunch of rice between your teeth, the scent of incense curling in temple air. These small sensory details anchor you to the present. The Buddha taught that mindfulness begins with the body, breathing, eating, walking. Gratitude, too, is most powerful when it is grounded in touch, taste, sight, and sound. Ordinary moments hold extraordinary wisdom. We keep waiting for epic moments to feel grateful. The promotion, the vacation, the miracle. But Zen wisdom says the sacred hides in the ordinary. A bowl of rice, a sip of water, the silence between 2 breaths. There is a teaching. When eating, eat. When walking, walk. Gratitude, in its truest form, is this. When drinking tea, drink tea, and thank the tea for existing. The extraordinary lies in finally noticing the ordinary. A tea ceremony is not about tea, it is about attention. In Zen tradition, the tea ceremony is not simply about brewing leaves and water. It is a meditation disguised as hospitality. Every gesture, the bow, the pouring, the placement of the cup, is performed slowly, deliberately, with reverence. Gratitude is the heart of the ceremony, for the guest, for the host, for the tools, for the silence itself. It transforms an everyday act into a temple of attention. In this, we learn a powerful truth. Gratitude doesn't require more possessions, only more presence. When gratitude becomes concrete, the body softens. Try it now. Think of something vague. I'm thankful for health. Notice how distant it feels. Now shift to something specific. I'm thankful my legs carried me up the stairs today without pain. Feel the difference? The shoulders drop. The breath deepens. The body believes what is specific. Gratitude ceases to be a concept and becomes a lived experience. This is why monks smile at a single bowl of rice. They're not imagining abundance. They're tasting it. Gratitude, the Zen way, is not about forcing positivity or pretending everything is fine. It is about showing up to what is with full attention and saying, even here, there is something worthy of thanks. And once this posture of gratitude is awakened, something remarkable happens. Gratitude ceases to be a fleeting mood and becomes a rhythm, a natural habit of awareness. It no longer feels like something you do, but something you are. With the posture of gratitude, we can begin weaving rituals that rewire the day. 3. Daily rituals that rewire. Morning, mealtime, nightfall. Your rituals are prescriptions you write for your heart. Most people treat gratitude like an afterthought, something you remember only on holidays or when things go well. But Zen teaches us that gratitude is not an occasional practice. It is a rhythm, a heartbeat, and the way you structure your day decides whether that heartbeat is scattered and anxious or steady and peaceful. Morning gratitude sets the tone of your inner weather. Before your fingers reach for a phone, before your mind is hijacked by notifications, pause. The first few minutes of the morning are the most fertile soil for your mind. Plant seeds of gratitude there, and your whole day changes. Begin with 3 gratitudes. 1 for your body, perhaps. Thank you, lungs, for breathing me through the night. 1 for relationship. Thank you for the friend who checked in yesterday. 1 for nature. Thank you, morning light, for returning. Zen monks begin the day with bows, not because life is perfect, but because they honor the miracle of simply waking up. If you can start here, you stop beginning your day in deficit and start it in abundance. At the table, gratitude turns food into a sacrament. We often eat as if fueling a machine, fast, distracted, scrolling as we chew. But every meal is an opportunity to return to the sacred. Take the first bite in silence. Before chewing, thank the invisible network of hands that brought the food to you. The farmer, the sun, the rain, the truck driver, the market worker. A Zen saying reminds us, when you eat, just eat. In monasteries, meals are consumed with bowed heads and quiet mouths, not to enforce rules, but to cultivate reverence. Gratitude at the table doesn't just nourish the body, it nourishes humility. You remember that you do not live alone. Life itself feeds you. Nightfall gratitude cleanses the dust of the day. As the sun sets, the mind often replays mistakes, regrets, or fears about tomorrow. But you can close the day differently with 3 specific gratitudes. Not vague, I'm thankful for today, but concrete recognitions. I'm thankful I called my sister and heard her laugh. I'm thankful I held the door open for a stranger. I'm thankful I finished the task I dreaded. Zen monks treat every evening as a small death, the closing of one life before the next sunrise. To end with gratitude is to die each day at peace, which means you awaken lighter tomorrow. Gratitude at night repairs what the day tried to break. Monastic rhythm turns chaos into calm. In monasteries, bells ring throughout the day, not as alarms of urgency, but as reminders to return. Each chime says, pause, breathe, remember. You can create your own rhythm by setting gentle phone alarms, not to rush you, but to invite gratitude. Imagine your device no longer as a tyrant, but as a temple bell, reminding you to whisper thanks. With such rituals, you turn scattered moments into sacred pauses. Morning, mealtime, and nightfall, 3 anchors that hold you steady no matter how turbulent the hours between. Ritualized gratitude rewires your body's rhythm. The result isn't abstract. You feel your energy steadier, your mood lifted, your sleep deeper. Anxiety loses its grip when appreciation fills the space it once occupied. Gratitude practiced ritually doesn't just stay in the mind, it imprints on the body, becoming part of your biology. Zen monks often say, One bow is enough to change the whole day. For you, one morning gratitude, one silent bite, one evening thanks may be enough to begin changing your whole life. Rituals are not chains, they are anchors. They don't limit you, they stabilize you. With every act of intentional gratitude, you stitch your mind back into the present moment, where healing always begins. Gratitude heals within, but it also mends between. 4. Gratitude is relationship medicine. Unspoken thanks become unseen scars. Think of the last time you felt unseen. Maybe you cooked a meal, stayed late at work, or listened patiently when someone poured out their troubles, and no one acknowledged it. That silence stung, didn't it? It wasn't about needing applause. It was about needing to feel that your effort mattered. In relationships, what is unspoken becomes heavy. Unspoken gratitude becomes a scar, etched quietly into the bond. Zen wisdom teaches us that every interaction is like tending a garden. If you never water it with gratitude, even the strongest roots will eventually dry out. Pause before reacting, and thank the intention, not just the outcome. When we are triggered, gratitude often disappears. A partner forgets to do the dishes, a friend shows up late, a colleague misses a detail. Instantly, frustration surges. But what if, before reacting, you stopped and took 10 slow breaths? In that pause, you might see not only the mistake, but the intention behind it. Maybe your partner cooked dinner first. Maybe your friend was rushing from another obligation. Maybe your colleague was exhausted but still tried. Zen masters say, see the roots, not just the leaves. Gratitude is not about overlooking mistakes. It's about honoring the effort behind the imperfection. When you thank the intention, tension dissolves. Name the invisible labor, the things no one notices. In every household, workplace, or friendship, countless acts of service pass unseen. The parent is folding laundry, the colleague who always prepares the meeting room, the friend who remembers your birthday year after year. When left unacknowledged, these become silent resentments. But when named, they become fuel for trust. A Zen tale tells of a monk who bowed before the broom after sweeping the temple courtyard. He said, "Without you, there is no path for our feet." Imagine what would happen if we bowed, even metaphorically, to the small, humble tasks done around us each day. Homes would feel less like battlegrounds, more like temples. Offer clean appreciation, no but, no scorekeeping. How often do we taint gratitude with a shadow? Thanks for cooking dinner, but you forgot the dishes. I appreciate you helping, but you're always late. True gratitude carries no but, no tally marks, no hidden ledger of who owes what. Zen teaches, a gift is only complete when it is given freely. The same is true for thanks. When you appreciate someone without conditions, you give them a gift of freedom. You tell them, you are enough as you are in this moment. That gift can heal years of wounds in a single sentence. Gratitude cools conflict and grows trust. Picture a heated argument, voices raised, hearts tight. What if, instead of pressing harder, one person said, I know we're upset right now, but I still appreciate that you care enough to fight with me. It means this matters to you. In that moment, the fire cools. Gratitude doesn't erase disagreements, but it softens their edges. It reminds both sides of the bond beneath the battle. Zen masters often remind students that gratitude is not about perfection, but presence. It is saying, even in this storm, I see the thread that ties us. Homes become temples when gratitude is the daily incense. Conflict thrives in neglect, but trust grows in appreciation. A home where thanks are spoken often begins to glow with a different light. Words become offerings, mealtimes become ceremonies, and relationships shift from transactional to sacred. The monks who bow to their food, to their brooms, even to the floor they walk upon, are not being theatrical. They are training themselves to never miss a chance to honor what sustains them. You can do the same with the people in your life. Gratitude restores peace where words once wounded. When you thank without an agenda, you don't just change the other person, you change yourself. Your heart softens, your nervous system calms, and your home feels more like a sanctuary than a battlefield. And gratitude doesn't stop at people. It transforms how the body feels. Just as gratitude rewires relationships, it also rewires your biology. But before we step into the body's healing, pause and ask yourself, who is one person you haven't thanked lately? And what invisible gift of theirs has kept you going? 5. Turning tests into teachers. A grateful mind teaches the body to unclench. Think of the last time you were overwhelmed, your jaw locked, your chest tight, your stomach in knots. The body doesn't just carry stress, it stores the stories we haven't resolved. Gratitude, when practiced deeply, is not only a feeling in the head, but a medicine for the muscles. It whispers to the body, you are safe now. You can let go. Gratitude scan, crown to souls. Thank each region for its work. In Zen monasteries, monks begin the day with bows, not only to teachers, but to the ground, to the tools, to their own hands. You can do the same with your body. Imagine slowly moving your awareness from the crown to the soles, offering thanks to each region. Thank you, eyes, for witnessing beauty. Thank you, lungs, for carrying breath. Thank you, feet, for bearing my weight without complaint. When every part of you is acknowledged, tension softens. The body doesn't need to scream for attention when it feels seen. Pain reframe. Thank you for warning me. I am listening now. Most of us fight pain like an enemy. We medicate it, curse it, try to push past it. But Zen wisdom sees pain as a bell, not a punishment. A monk once said, pain is the body's prayer for presence. What if, instead of saying, why me, you whispered, thank you for warning me. I am listening now. This shift doesn't magically erase pain, but it transforms panic into patience, resistance into rapport. Pain becomes a partner in healing, not an obstacle to crush. Movement of thanks, each step a silent thank you. Walking meditation in Zen is more than exercise. It is gratitude in motion. Each slow step becomes a prayer. Thank you for the ground. Thank you for the breath. Thank you for another moment alive. Imagine how your body would feel if gratitude infused every step you took, not as a thought, but as a rhythm, like the beating of a drum. Your nervous system begins to harmonize with this pace. Shoulders drop, jaw releases, breath deepens. Gratitude isn't just felt, it's lived through your body's gait. The pond clears when the wind, resistance, settles. Zen teachers often use the image of water to explain the mind-body connection. A pond cannot reflect the moon when it is disturbed by wind. In the same way, your body cannot reflect peace when it is battered by resistance, complaint, or constant striving. Gratitude is the settling of that wind. When you stop fighting your body and begin thanking it, the pond clears. Only then do you see the reflection, the truth that peace was there all along. Gratitude felt in the body is not forced, it's received. This is a great reward. When gratitude moves from the mind into the flesh, everything changes. Breath lengthens, pulse steadies, and digestion softens. Instead of chasing health with stress and pressure, you receive it as a gift. Gratitude is not pretending everything is fine. It is letting the body remember how to rest, repair, and return to balance. Buddhist teachers remind us, the body is not separate from enlightenment. It is the temple itself. When you honor your body with gratitude, you step into that temple. Gratitude becomes embodied, not a thought, not a journal entry, not a forced smile, but a lived reality. Your body itself becomes lighter, your presence softer. Gratitude ceases to be something you do and becomes something you are. Now gather these threads into a vow that carries you forward. You've seen how gratitude disarms pain, loosens muscles, steadies breath, and transforms even walking into prayer. The next step is to weave these practices into a living vow, something simple, strong, and personal that will anchor your health and spirit when life gets heavy. Gratitude turns ordinary days into medicine, not the kind you swallow from a bottle, but the kind that rewires your breath, steadies your heart, and reminds you that life itself is already giving. The ache in your chest softens, the storm in your mind loosens, and even the heaviest day begins to lighten when you remember to say thank you. You have walked through the thieves that steal your joy, hurry, comparison, perfection. You have learned the Zen way of presence, simple, sensory, real. You have gathered rituals, morning, mealtime, nightfall, that anchor your heart. Yes, you have seen how gratitude repairs relationships and even teaches the body to unclench. Each practice is a stitch, and together they weave a cloak of resilience. But here is the truth that can't be ignored. Gratitude unpracticed is gratitude lost. The medicine works only if you take it, and it doesn't begin tomorrow or next week. It begins tonight. So I ask you, softly but directly, what will you thank tonight? Specifically, softly, sincerely, the hand that held yours, the breath that carried you through, the quiet bed waiting for you? Write it below. 3 specific thanks. Share this video with someone who needs gentle hope. Subscribe so we can keep walking this path together. One breath, one thank you, one step closer to peace. And as you go, receive this blessing. May your tea be warm, your breath unhurried, your words grateful, and your body held by the kindness you practice.